everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Buffalo Happy Hour. We are with our friends at First Line Brewing. Shane, run us through all the craziness that you guys have experienced in the last, I would say, 8 months?
Yeah, it has been crazy. As you remember from the last time, the building was starting off good. The building was just this at first, and we added this 2-story addition right over here. We also threw a very nice fabricated steel bar out front for our customers when the garage doors are open. They can sit outside. We pop the umbrellas open. We got bar stools out here. So that's kind of on the face of the building, and I guess we can, go inside and check out the inside.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We're gonna head inside and check everything out, and then we'll see you inside.
I think the chairs as well. Yeah, especially if they're away.
So yeah, right, there used to be a wall right here. We knocked that down, and the place really opens up over here.
This is incredible.
Thank you.
So you also have new equipment, correct?
Yes, we upgraded from our original very small equipment, which kind of limited us on how often we could be open. And we bought 5-barrel equipment, so it's given us so much opportunities to open more days a week, have more capacity, and actually get into restaurants and bars, which we just started doing, which we'll touch on later. So
can you quickly run through the whole process on all the work you guys did with the addition?
Yeah. Okay. So they tossed the frame up. They were working on the inside of the building this past winter. We knocked the wall down. They insulated the place, drywalled it, got the heat and air going, and once that was in and the windows were in, we were able to actually open up this side even though it wasn't completely finished. Put tables in here, and then it was kind of like a mad dash to get our brewing equipment up and running to be able to sustain that. So for a while we actually had our old equipment over here that we were still operating, plus our new stuff that was just sitting here. So and now we finally are able to open up the second floor, which has been a long process as well. So now the whole inside of the building is open, front patio is open, and we're working towards opening the back patio as well.
That's amazing.
Yes, it's been a crazy journey.
Good for you guys, that's huge. Well, next step, why don't you run through the new upgraded equipment, and then we'll dive upstairs and do a full sit-down interview. Let's
do it. So please don't mind the mess, and don't mind the miniature desk. That's Mikey's workstation, which is actually a table from an elementary school. So keep that in mind.
All good.
So you can come back here. We got hoses everywhere. There's water on the floor because I cleaned it a little bit earlier. But so we got our brew house right here, 5-barrel brew house. This is our hot liquor tank on the bottom. The top half of it is our mash tun. That's where all the grains go in. The right side is our boil kettle. And then we got our fermenters over here. We have 3 unit tanks, 5-barrel tanks, and then we have our bright tank over here, which is where the beer goes after it's finished fermenting, after it's clarified, and that's where it carbonates, and then after that it goes right into the kegs or the cans, whatever we're doing. So this whole area has been huge for us in terms of making better beer consistently and making a ton of beer, which has allowed us to be open a lot more, which is our biggest problem. So now we're finally getting into bars, getting back into canning again soon. So this has been the best thing for us, is getting this new equipment.
And just remember, guys, at First Line Brewing, their message has been clear from day one. They care about Old Glory, and she's always present.
Oh, she's always here.
Always
she's even tatted on my body, forever and ever. So yeah, this is my little dungeon over here, I guess you could say. But it's, like I said, this is what we needed to kind of turn us into a real restaurant, real brewery, where we're open consistently and making consistently good beers, and it's only up from here, so we're finally there.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Once again.
Thank you.
So let's head upstairs, show off that new space upstairs, and then we'll dive into the full round 2 interview.
So right up here, we kind of created a second-story tap room area with a bar, functioning bar. We just put this TV up today. We have a bunch of tables up here. It's like a loft area where you can look down to the first floor. On nice days, we have these wonderful glass doors that will open up, so you'll be able to look over the balcony as well on the front. And it's really a nice vibe up here. We have games up here. We're planning on hosting private events up here, and we're excited for the Bills season, Bills games up here as well. So
And some of the unique features that you have is the surround sound. Did you mention that?
Yeah, I did not. No, so we have Sonos speakers throughout the whole building, which have been really nice because we can control what music's playing in what room.
Sure.
Like we were able to turn this off for the interview while still having music playing down on the first floor, and it's really great sounding music as well. So I'm really happy about that because we like to have this place, lively with good music and get the people going and pumped up to drink. Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, good deal.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to another episode of the Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's up, dude?
It's special interview 80, I believe. We're losing track because that number right now does not matter. What matters is round 2 with First Line Brewing, and we are juiced up for it. So for those that missed round 1, we'll start with introductions, and then we'll dive into a little bit more of kind of what's new, and then we'll just wing it.
Yeah, I like winging it.
Ladies first.
Ladies first, I'll go first. My name is Michael. I am one of the owners here at First Line.
My name is Shane, and I'm the other owner here at First Line.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to state your age?
I was not.
Okay.
I am 24 now, though. I recently had a birthday.
And recently married.
Yes, a lot has changed.
How was that?
Still getting yelled at. So,
He's still married.
so nothing is, nothing's changed. I'm still married, so it's considered a success. But
You just came back from your honeymoon, too. Where'd you go?
yeah, went to St. Lucia.
Ooh, nice.
It
How was it?
Incredible.
How was the
great.
weather?
It was on and off.
Was
so
it?
it would rain like downpour for 10 minutes and then it would stop. So overall it's pretty good. That was my first time really away from the business. So I was constantly like on the cameras checking to see what the hell was going on and what is he doing during the day and stuff.
There's
but
no faith in me at all.
No faith.
No faith.
But no, yeah, it's back to reality. And I'm excited to be back on the podcast.
Oh yeah, we've been missing this since the first time we did it.
Oh, yeah?
We were when the first episode dropped. We sat down at the bar and we literally planned. We're not brewing this day. We want to watch this because we were so excited. We've never been in a podcast. We've never really been like in a long interview. So we were stoked about it. Our families loved it, and a lot of our customers would like watch the whole thing and they're like, "We learned so much about you guys." And I was like, "That's great!" Like. Obviously, we watch it and your fans watch it, but I wasn't too sure some of our local regulars would watch the full thing, and they were like talking about things like towards the end of the video, and I'm like, wow, like, that's so cool. People actually knew. They found out a lot more about Mikey and I and our families than they knew beforehand, and they talk about stuff still. They'll come inside and they'll talk about some of the stuff that we brought up in that podcast.
That's wild.
Yeah, and thank you guys for that because
Well,
that
yeah.
was
Absolutely.
awesome.
I honestly think that's the first time we got that much feedback from an interview. So thank you. But yeah, there was a lot because that was ideally perfect timing. You guys essentially just opened to an extent. Like you were,
I think we were
here,
we were doing
but like
we were doing cans.
Yeah, we were open for cans, I think.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
like 4 packs, and then
Yep.
you kept running out because demand was so high.
Yep.
And that was kind of what we were essentially talking about for most of it. And then it just kind of boomed into what we have now and where we
Yeah.
are now, literally physically.
Yeah, so I think when you guys came in, we had, I don't even know if we had the blueprints for this edition. We were talking about it. But yeah, that's where we are right now. We're in our upstairs loft, I guess, area. So we added more, maybe like 100 more people to our capacity.
Which was
or so.
crazy because for a while our capacity was 35 people, and now we're over 100.
We're over, yeah.
You just tripled it, like out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
And with our patio, once our outdoor patio opens, which might not be this year, it might be next year.
Round 3.
That's another 100.
another
people.
podcast.
That's the third podcast. We'll do it out in the sun. No tent.
We'll just sweat.
We'll be sweating.
Yeah.
So when you guys talk about the blueprints, is this exactly what you envisioned when you wrote down the blueprints and like you worked on it? Like this is exactly what you want, or is it completely different?
Well, compared to what we had envisioned before, we never thought we would be able to have a second floor. I don't know why. We just never thought that was a thing, just with our location, and since we were so new, that wouldn't happen. So we had different plans of, basically doing the first floor, and we had that all drawn out, basically taking over the old patio. But it was actually our landlord and the architect that came to us with this print, and it was this building with this second story, and we were just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, could you imagine having a second floor? And then that was basically it. That was history. And then we, put different touches on it, like, let's have these windows this size, this door upstairs this big and downstairs this big. But, it was basically the first set of blueprints were ready to go. So, and we
were just so eager. We're like, we need to get bigger no matter what. Yeah. You show me anything, let's just freaking do it.
They could have made it 15 floors and we would have said, let's do it.
Yeah.
Or a basement and we would have said, let's do it.
We needed something just to fit our new equipment.
Yeah.
Our 5-barrel. Because we bought that equipment was gonna go into the current building.
The original space. We bought that before. We bought that equipment
in September.
It was after our second week of being open ever. We were running out of beer so fast, and we were like, we're either going to never be open or we have to pull the trigger on this. So we bought the equipment right after opening with that first original space. So we're not even planning on it building an addition. We were like, we're just going to cram it in there and get rid of tables. So we're very glad that wasn't the case because, oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's word of advice. We got advice. So we started on a 1-barrel. And we were talking to someone off Instagram, someone from Alaska. He started a brewery. I don't even know how we got in contact
I found
with
him because he was using the equipment we were going to get.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He told us, though, he's like, don't start with a 1-barrel. Get a 3-barrel
that's what I'm
at
doing.
least.
Don't do it.
I'm brewing every day. And we're like, I think we already bought the 1-barrel. Like,
we were like, no, we'll be fine.
We're good. And then we're brewing 7 days a week, and we're like, we shouldn't have bought a 1-barrel. So then we bought the 5-barrel. So it's just... Everything has just been kind of not trial and error, but we're just figuring it out as we go, like we've said before.
So what would have been more stressful for you guys? I want your opinion on this. Getting, like, how you did this whole business, where you started off super small and you're like, I gotta grow because I have so many people coming in, or starting off extremely big and having to market like crazy because you need to fill the demand and fill all that stuff. So what do you think would have been more stressful?
I've been saying to like people who ask me about our business since day one that we did it so different than most people. A lot of businesses will market their brand after they open. Like they'll kind of open up, it'll be a big surprise, and then they'll market. Whereas we were marketing this place 2 years before we even opened the doors. It said coming soon on the door for like a year and a half. We started so small that gave us the opportunity to get to this level because we had a fan base or customer base before we ever opened our doors. We focused a lot on that rather than starting so big. So I'm glad we did it the way we did it. It was obviously, very stressful because we were just working so much.
Well, there's no other way we could have done it.
Right.
I mean, money talks, and that's the only thing we could afford.
Yeah, we didn't come from parents who gave us a ton of money. We didn't get loans or anything like that. It was all kind of just this is what we could afford. Let's try to make this dream work, and somehow it worked.
Yeah. Going to your question, I think starting small for my sanity would be going that way, because I don't want, the only way we would be able to afford that would be a loan, and being so young and in debt with school and everything, I don't want another loan,
right?
A bank loan, and be like, okay, we bought a 15-barrel system and we have to start paying the bank immediately.
Yeah, and we had no experience running a business.
Yeah,
we knew how to brew, but not on a professional scale. So that equipment really got us ready for this equipment. If we started with this, it would have been a lot more trial and error.
Yeah,
because I never brewed in a brewery before. It was all home brewing. This equipment is totally different than our old equipment and any home brewing equipment. It's very much automated, and you really have to know what you're doing. You're going to waste a lot of money on a bad batch.
Right.
So
there's also a lot to be said too about having a smaller place and having the capacity of people being allowed to come in met like all the time. Because if you had like a 20,000 square foot place and there's a third capacity, people are going to walk in there and be like, this place is dead.
Yeah.
I don't want to come here. So I think starting small helped that as well.
It was nice. It created, from opening in our can situation, it created a demand like locally for to come in here, because there was a lot of people that were like, I've been trying to come in here and I can't come in. So they would keep coming back, even though it was annoying that we couldn't get everyone in a weird way. With all the COVID regulations, it worked, because every time we were open last summer and last fall, we were packed immediately every day of the week, which was like a blessing for us because we had no idea what we were doing when we opened up. And like you said, if we had this massive place and the same amount of customers that we had were in that massive place, we would have been like, oh my God, we're a failure. This place is dead. So it was a good ego boost, I guess, for us and our families to keep pushing forward and making these jumps.
And to get our beaks wet a little bit and be like, okay, now I know how to understand payroll or understand really is like the point of sale system and making everything have the right integration to have that correct flow of business is really much better on a smaller scale, obviously. And then understanding that and then make, okay, now we're comfortable to make a bigger jump.
Right.
Yeah, because your pay, like for example, pay in your system, let's just, I mean, no for shout outs, all right, corporate, but say you're using QuickBooks or whatever, you'll go on from 3 people to 15, and you're like, okay, instead of doing this 3 times, I have to do it 15 times, but you understand the actual process, which is kind of ridiculous because that, no pun intended, flows into brewing, where you have a whole different brewing system, and from your perspective, like, I don't think a lot of home brewers know this, but they have, at Budweiser, they have a full-time employee that just dumps beer that doesn't fit standard. And they're just like, hey, I need you to go dump beer because we basically just lost a portion of a batch or whatever, or like this line is down, so I need you to go fix it, or something just exploded. With this, you went from a smaller system to a larger system, but the thing that I never understood is your demand has always been so high that you still had to have like a quote-unquote menu of beers, which is, most people don't think about the cleaning. Most people don't think about how you can actually bring in the products that you need to make that specific beer work and taste consistent every single time. And then now you have a much larger system, but your menu is still packed with all these different beers. So how was that process going from a smaller system to a larger system without wasting products?
It was definitely, the first couple brew days were a little nerve-wracking because we were worried. We were in such a pinch. When we started to brew on this, it was literally like, if we don't brew today and hit it out of the park, like we might be closed for a couple weeks because we had no beer left. This was when we were transitioning from that old equipment to the new stuff. So it was very nerve-wracking at first, but we really just studied the equipment. I would constantly just run water through everything to make sure I knew every valve and how to transfer stuff, just because it's so different.
The biggest fear was the scalability of the recipes. So like Shane said, was we started off with the ones that were less complicated, make sure we
Which one was that?
We the People was our easiest beer to
one.
make. It's only got 1 grain and 1 type of hop.
Gotcha.
But then
so
we brewed Yaba for the third.
I feel
like that's like the most complicated.
Yeah.
It was the most, and then we like it's really, really good.
Yeah,
so
it's the best. That batch was the best batch of Yaba we've ever made, hands down.
And that gave us the confidence to be like, okay,
Why?
we can master this equipment.
The equipment just so much like
It's efficiency on like grains and
it's
like,
so much better, and how I can control the beer while it's fermenting with the glycol in the tanks, and being able to pressurize at such a high level, and it's a Honda to a Lamborghini as compared to the equipment. I mean, it makes every beer that we've made, like every version of our old beer that we've remade, has been 10 times better, like not even close. So it's been a huge bonus for us to be able to do this, because for a while we were pumping out beer on this small equipment and pumping out so much of it over and over and over again. But having stuff that was consistent all the time was difficult because the equipment was so small that it was just, there was so much waste. There was you weren't getting a lot. So with the new equipment, we can let things sit, like let beer sit longer and actually, age how they're supposed to.
Yeah, I remember the first round that we did, you guys were saying that you're excited for Yaba 2.0 because you didn't let it sit and kind of get more of that flavor. And you're able to do that with this new system.
Yes.
That's sweet.
We'll have to get you guys some of the Yaba at some
Speaking
point
of the
today.
transition period, we cut it really, really close. Probably just lucky, but our cooler, we have a cooler out back, and we have the 6-still kegs. So we, on average, when we were at the original spot, we were probably operating with anywhere between like 40 to 60 kegs in a rotation. But we were just going through so much beer that literally before that equipment was hooked up, we had 6 kegs to withstand a
whole
weekend.
Oh my gosh.
And we're like, we need to brew. So we were waiting on, it probably was
All right.
The Diesel Boys.
the Diesel Boys are here. We were waiting on one, the vent.
It was our exhaust vent from the boil kettle it had to be this crazy like triple wall vent that goes all the way up to the second floor and out, because it has to be like a chimney effect, because we have this like jet engine burner underneath the boil now. So that was took so long to get in.
We needed beer. We were like, I was texting my buddy who's an HVAC guy, and he's like, can we brew on this? And he's like, no, you'll die. And we looked at each other, we're like, we may have
We
to
might have to try it.
because we need to stay open,
Yeah.
not close down.
So literally the second that thing was operational, we were running it, and we got so lucky. It was ridiculous. We would have closed down for probably 2 weeks if we couldn't get open if we couldn't start brewing.
So your new equipment is in the addition that you built.
Yep.
Did you consult anybody to that point about like the proper way to install this stuff, or did you just
installed all of this by ourselves?
Damn,
because we were with the addition going on and us being shut down for so long, like money was tight. Coming into this, so like a lot of breweries will hire out a glycol company to pipe everything. A lot of people will hire companies to set everything up the right way. We literally set all that up ourselves, and I actually did all the glycol myself. And
You need to get a video of it.
It's so ratchet.
So ratchet. Actually, don't get a video.
Yeah, don't get a video. You guys can just look at it.
Yeah,
it's
we'll show
so
you.
ratchet. It's PEX pipes that I did all myself. It took like 2 or 3 days, and I was proud of it because it works. Like, it might not be.
It
might
works.
not be beautiful like the other places, but it gets the tanks down to 32 degrees. So.
But you know what we did have? We had to get that equipment set up. There was a pallet jack and a car jack that we used that car jack probably at least 250 times to get it in the right position because everything is hard piped in.
So when
it
we
has to
got
be
the kettles
perfectly
off the
placed.
truck, the feet of the kettles had these like metal brackets that were welded onto these metal frames so that when it was shipped across the ocean, it wasn't moving around.
Where did they come from?
Came from China.
Okay.
Hopefully next time we'll get American-made stuff, But anyways,
Do they even make it? Do they
yeah,
make
it's just
stuff?
It's
so
just
much.
so
It's like
expensive.
4
Well,
times
of
the
course.
price.
Yeah.
But we were cheap when we bought this, and we're always cheap. We're cheap.
we're always-
He's cheap right now. So
Someone's got to be cheap in a relationship.
so we literally we had no way to lift the tanks up, and we didn't want to hire someone to come in to do it. So we literally took a car jack and a bunch of pieces of wood, and we were raising up these super heavy tanks. And
Just us two.
Just
and
us
we were
two.
holding it, and it's
Holding
like
it.
tons of pounds. And
It sounds like us putting the wall together.
And the one time, like, we were trying to grind the welds off to get the things off, and the grinder just kept dying. So I kept calling Mikey the mule or the donkey because he would
I would take
donkey
my foot
kick
and
it,
I'd donkey kick the
and it would
metal.
break the welds off.
Yeah, dude, I had bruises all over. And then the fermenter actually fell on the other fermenter.
Yeah, the one fermenter tipped over in the one day and almost fell on the ground.
Yeah, so
And
at least it's up.
Yeah, I don't know how we did that. That was crazy. And getting it in here, the tanks are too big. They were supposed to be big, like smaller than the garage door. That was the whole plan. And of course they're not. Why would they be? So we had to, we actually had to bring the mash tun through the side window before the window was in with like a big, what was that machine?
A crane.
It's like a crane type of thing. I don't know, but it was a nightmare. Oh my
So
God.
where did you guys store that equipment?
So we had to we had to time it perfectly for when the shipment was coming in overseas to have a because we had nowhere to store it.
Yeah.
So we had to time the construction of this building to be done before the equipment came in, and by the grace of
got
God,
so lucky.
this place was up finally. We were on the construction guys' ass, being like, "You guys need to hurry up. You need to get this done because we have this equipment coming."
The equipment showed up, and it was literally just a frame, like studs and the plywood or whatever is on the outside of a building. And that was it. We had the garage door in just so no one would come in and steal it. But like, second floor was just wide open to the elements. All the windows were open, and we had.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
We had a private party for Reed Ferguson.
This was so.
His wife
I
planned
hate
his
this.
birthday party, and on a Wednesday. It was
She planned it a
surprise.
long time before the.
Yeah. So then they also had a baby shower that Saturday.
Here.
So the week before, the construction guys tell us that they're knocking down that cinder block wall.
And this is the middle of the winter, and this
Middle of the
building was
winter.
not closed. So
And
once they knock that wall down, it's 30
It was
degrees
freezing
in there.
in here. And then Reed comes by and his wife comes by and they see dust everywhere. The wall is
my
down.
gosh.
There's a tarp. And we're like, oh yeah, we'll be ready for the party. And it was, we brought heaters outside.
Very illegal. We had the outside propane heater tanks inside the building for a little while. But luckily, the day of his party and the baby shower was like a randomly like
55-degree day in the winter.
Nice.
So we really
We're
lucked
just
out.
a lucky two son of a bitches.
Yes.
I'll pull it out of our ass.
Because all of that could have gone horribly if the equipment came in a month early. I mean, it would have been sitting outside, I guess. I don't really know what we would have done with it.
Right.
So not to geek out too hard, but like, what do you need to run the equipment? Like, what power do you? Is it all three-phase?
So we went from our 1 barrel to heat up the actual the wort or whatever the beer to boil it for an hour. We were using electric, but now we're flame. We're direct flame. So
it's all natural gas.
A gas line, but now we have like a 220 just to.
We have a
run the
220 to the
pumps and
control
stuff.
panel for the pumps, but we actually had to get National Fuel out here to run a whole new service from the road, like dig a trench out and put this like 4-inch, 6-inch pipe underground to service the new brewing equipment. Because it's like 200,000 BTUs or something, and then also our new HVAC system too. And because we have a 7-ton HVAC unit now on the roof to power this whole place. So
I think we added 7. I think it's. I may be wrong. I don't know. Maybe 7 million BTUs.
I think it's 7 million BTUs were added to the building from that line.
With the brewing equipment and our new HVAC and
tankless water heater.
And tankless water heater. Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I don't ever want to experience that.
Oh my gosh.
That time of construction, of timing everything and going through all the different pieces that fit
Everyone looked at
together.
us like we knew. They're like, how many BTUs do you need on this pipe? I don't even know what a BTU is.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're like, dude, it's the amount of energy you need to heat something. You're like, what? Like, but yeah. And then, of course, when National Fuel shows up, they're like, we have to increase your entire meter. And you're just like, And they're like, to what? And you're like, 8 million BTUs. And you're just like, oh, okay,
the sun is there.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for reference, I don't think a lot of people know this, but generally you need like 2 million BTUs in a car collision shop to run a paint booth to then paint someone's car.
Really?
And you guys are at 8 million BTUs to brew beer.
Yeah, dude, that's a huge flex to our 8 million BTUs.
Oh yeah, like that.
We're stronger than a car shop.
Yeah, Valvoline or whatever. Let's talk about what we're
Yeah, we got to talk about this.
Let's talk about what we're drinking.
Okay. Derek, you'll dive into it, man.
So this is our Buffalo Happy Hour 3-quart single barrel here, and we brought it for our boys here, so you guys can try it out. But yeah, it is our single barrel. It's the 80-20 blend of cognac and toasted barrels. And we wanted to get your guys' feedback on it. So what do you guys think? It's pretty hot, right?
Yeah. Recently, over the past maybe 6 months, I've gotten Mikey into bourbon.
I was a Jack Daniels fiend in high school, and then I threw up a couple times, and
then he wouldn't drink it.
I stayed away from whiskey.
So then I got into whiskey like a year ago, and he would never try it. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to turn you into a whiskey man at some point. And now, we love it. So we're really happy you guys brought this.
Yeah, thank you. It's delicious.
It's fantastic.
You get like a buttery toast taste, and it's just amazing.
Butter toast, vanilla, definitely cracked pepper.
Yeah, caramel. Exactly everything that you guys said it was.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly everything that you told us that was in here before the podcast started.
No, it really
it's fantastic, honestly. It's such a cool thing that you guys were able to do that too. I didn't know that places really offered that. Yeah. So that's sweet.
Yeah,
you guys want a
honored.
beer?
It's sweet. Sure.
So,
we can brew you a beer.
Oh, sure.
Buffalo
Yeah,
Happy
absolutely.
Hour.
So that was kind of where I was going. What I wanted to do is,
I was just a lush, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take a beer for sure.
but
I'll get you a beer.
So obviously Derek and I are extremely inquisitive, and we've worked on, I guess a ton of different equipment in regards to size, but nothing like this. And if it's possible, I mean, I know you got like 90 years of vacation time throughout the year, but if we can schedule something on a weekend or whatever, in like, October, whatever, something, I personally want to volunteer my time and just kind of work with you unpaid. Like, I just want to spend time with you guys and brew and just kind of help out, even if I have to squeegee water into a faucet or something.
We'll put you to work, buddy. There's a lot of work.
This is what we should do. We should get you guys in here. We brew a beer, Buffalo Happy Hour. That can even be the name of the beer. And we get Tommy Boy to draw us up a sick label
For
toss it in
free.
cans for free.
We have to tell him
free.
one day before we need it.
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
We'll tell him while the
18
canning
hours.
company is on the way here.
Yeah, 18 hours, and then he has no out.
Yeah, he does.
This has to happen. And plus, he's a beer snob, so he's like, well, I guess I'm going to drink it anyways.
Yeah, he's got to do it.
So, talking about cans and stuff, we are transitioning to cans hopefully like in a month or so. We're just.
What do you mean, like from bottles?
No, so we
back
are.
to cans.
We're getting, yeah, we're gonna.
So we're finally going to start canning again because it was always we were either open just doing tap room sales or we were closed just doing cans. So now that we have a ton of beer, I guess we'll announce it on the podcast. Our first can is going to be bringing back Beast in the East, but it's going to be obviously better now that we have this new equipment, and we want to have it in cans and on tap all season because it was kind of like our staple beer for the playoffs. It actually won not really an award, but this beer page tried all of the Buffalo Bills playoff beer because a lot of the breweries made playoff beer, and we actually placed first in that for that beer. So we're very proud of it.
That's sweet.
And we're going to be bringing it back, and hopefully we'll have some merch to go along with it. But
if Tom hurries up,
but he never hurries up.
What kind of beer is it?
It's a pineapple. We call it a Buffalo IPA. But it's a pineapple New England IPA. So it's a nice juicy aroma hop New England IPA that's with pineapple puree and maybe some other fruits as well, depending on what we want to do. But it was a huge hit for us.
Yeah, if you guys, when you walk down, you can see like our little storage area where the tables and chairs are. We want to put a refrigerator in there and a merch stand in there, and then do takeout over there.
It's perfect because this corner right here is where a lot of Bills fans will stop on the way to the game. They'll stop at Beers for a breakfast sandwich or grab beer, and then they'll head right down that way, and that's how you get to some of the lots. So we want to be open Sunday mornings to take out, and you come and grab Beast in the East or whatever, and head over to the stadium. So
I love it. So speaking of new things and being thirsty, literally at all points of the day, outside of the fact that it's like 96 degrees outside.
Oh my gosh.
You mentioned that there's something in the works that you guys are coming out with. So let's transition to that. I'm empty. Derek's empty.
I'm gonna go grab.
It's not that we have a problem, but we may or may not have a problem. But it's fine.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some of these.
Okay.
You guys keep chatting.
We'll try that out, and then while we're waiting, how you doing? I mean, you're not like a whiskey guy, but this is hot, man. This is 118.2.
Yeah, I'm dying on the inside. No, it's delicious. I'm a rookie, and I gotta get put through the ropes. And no, it's good. It's really good. It's hard. It's bad to say, but beer makes me really bloated, so I can really only have like one or two glasses, and I'm not hungry anymore. I just want to lay down. So that's really what drew me into whiskey. I could have a couple responsibly and still feel like, okay, I don't want to sleep.
Right.
Well, from being full.
Yeah, that or just do hours and hours of cardio to get rid of your bloat. I'm with you. Exactly. I literally tell Derek that every time, and I'm almost at the point where I feel bad saying no because I'm like I don't want to deal with after we're having a good time, but then as soon as I get home I'm just miserable because I'm like, oh goodness, I had another beer, and then it just sits.
Yeah, exactly, because I'm a big pasta guy, so I got to save my carbs for my pasta. So
how often do you have pasta though?
Literally, Shane, how often do you eat pasta? Every night. Once a night. I do. My wife, she kills me because I constantly, I'm just making a mess in the kitchen because I'm putting something together, but it's bad.
What's you don't break the pasta.
You don't. No.
Jesus, what are you?
Dude,
this podcast is over.
Listen,
he's going to start talking about cutting his pasta next after it's cooked. What is that about?
Yeah, like pre-washing it before you put it in. But why? Like, what is the whole? Because it just gets smaller in the pot. I'm Irish, man. Like, you got to educate me.
Yeah, no. I mean, me personally, I like slurping my pasta. Yeah. I like the pasta with. Are
you one of the pretentious Italians that use a spoon, or do you just?
I do
really?
Use a
Good
spoon.
for you.
I'm pretentious. My dad used a spoon. So my dad and my grandfather used a spoon. I don't need to have a spoon because my twirl is pretty on point. But yeah, I don't know. I just grew up. My mom never broke the pasta. We like to keep the sauce. So what I like to do is I like to make the sauce, put the sauce in the pan, and then I cook the sauce, and then I put the pasta in. Add a little pasta water. So you salt your pasta water right when it starts boiling. So then you put the pasta in the cooked sauce, and you mix it together to make sure the sauce is coating the pasta.
That's a big mistake people don't do, because if you don't put sauce in your pasta, then it gets all sticky. And that's not good.
Yeah, the pasta is actually just a caveat to eat the sauce. It just sits on the pasta.
Can we do a pasta dinner soon? Dude, I need to learn all these things.
Dude, I make a good bolognese.
Get his mom to make you pasta. You'll be able.
Yeah, my mom. Shout out my mom. She makes a killer red sauce.
I mean, we're down.
Yeah.
Literally whenever.
Again, we're just trying to. I just want to learn as much as possible.
We'll
in this
bring
life.
whiskey.
Yes. Hey, we bring the whiskey. We bring the pasta.
I like
Yeah,
that.
we got it.
I want to do. I got to bring him on board, but I want to make a fast casual pasta shop.
Oh.
I don't want to. I'll tell you guys off camera.
Okay.
But it's kind of
So-
a goal of mine. Like years.
Yeah, you're
years
50
down
and
the
you're
road.
bored.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna have one more after this. I need you guys to try.
What is going on?
Jesus.
Actually, maybe more after that. We're gonna start with these ones I just placed first for your palate.
If anyone saw me on camera, I took a sip of that, and my right eye started to twitch because it was steaming. And now my
Make
eyes
sure you
are
zoom in.
watering.
Make sure you zoom in.
Whatever minute we're on, zoom in on my right eye.
All right, so these two beers that I brought over are.
Michael, grab it.
You guys are the
Oh my God! Be an athlete.
You guys are the first ones to try these. So these are the two beers that we'll be releasing on our 1-year anniversary
That's the
party.
big thing we have to
this
be
Saturday.
talking about. Oh, it's not even going to be released, but
Yeah.
But no, so this Saturday is our 1-year anniversary party. A big deal for us. We got a fantastic live performer playing from 1:30 to 4:30. We have Tees and Taps, which is a local golf simulator
It's
bar
sweet.
that makes.
you were a big golf guy now,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, I
You
went
getting into
there.
golf?
We went there, yeah.
So spoiler alert, but we're working with them to be on the pod soon.
Nice,
sweet.
great guys. Yeah,
They're coming here. They're gonna set up their putting green out back. They're gonna have
sweet.
a tent. They're gonna do club fittings. They're gonna give out merch
They're
and raffle
raffling
stuff. We have
out,
putting competitions.
They're raffling out simulator time.
Yeah.
Simulator time.
And then we have a DJ from 6 to 10. So, and we got these two beers releasing. We have our first ever beef on wax sandwich releasing.
Yeah, we got a lot going on.
It's a big day for us. So these two beers, the first one you're going to try is called Hot Blonde. So it's perfect beer for the summer.
Named after my wife, if you're listening, Abigail.
Your mom, I believe your mom calls it dirty blonde.
She calls it
So my sisters are very
Italian. My
Italian and
fiance,
dark, so they were
offended when we
by
called
the
this
name.
Hot Blonde. They wanted me to call it. I said, well, it's not a brunette ale. So and I got in a little trouble for that. But
You slept on the couch that night.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Every night.
so this is a watermelon blonde, hot blonde, which we'll be releasing on Saturday. So it's 6.5%.
I'm sorry, this
It's got nice watermelon notes. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Watermelon block.
It's refreshing. You get a little hint of watermelon to it.
That watermelon is powerful.
Oh, that's amazing.
How do you do the watermelon?
It's
is
a
that
secret
puree?
formula.
It's
Yeah.
we actually
call
throw
me
watermelon.
Plankton, 'cause I wanna know.
We throw watermelon
That's a good one.
seeds.
I love
We put watermelon seeds in the mash, and then the watermelons actually grow.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
And
It's
then by the time the beer's done, you pull out full watermelons.
exactly, yeah. So it's honestly just as easy as adding watermelon puree or extract.
Oh, okay.
That's how a lot of beers
This is
are
the
made.
perfect though,
ratio.
ratio. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
extract is very scary to work with because it's so powerful.
You add like one drop too much, you're drinking just straight
So
syrup.
we have this crazy formula that just measures out exactly how much extract we need.
A equals
no,
B.
Y equals MC. No, Y
Yeah.
equals
MX plus B.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
yeah. The slope formula.
Obviously, that's not the formula we use.
Isn't it like A squared plus B squared equals C squared or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Might be, yeah.
Anyways,
Who
the
knows?
formula is just Shane dumping in extract.
I just dump it and we taste it. I add it.
That's honestly how
I
we
add it. I add a little. We taste it. I add a little. We taste it.
So what happens if you go too far?
We're yet to do that.
We have yet to
We're
do
doing
that.
a batch.
Yeah,
That's why I
Because
tell
you
them,
can't add more beer.
Exactly. And you can't take this out either.
So it's very nerve-wracking.
So would you be able? I don't know how this would even be possible, but if you brewed a batch that is too much watermelon extract, could you brew another batch that has less watermelon extract and blend the two, or does that not work with brewing?
You can dilute it with just another.
You can dilute it with
blonde
water
apple.
even as well, which I've learned some breweries do actually. So not to get into the science or anything, but like what we were just saying is that the problem is that that beer would be sitting for so long if we were to rebrew a new one. So basically we just, when we do a beer like this, or when we do a beer like our Bitch and Betty that uses extract, once we get it right one time, we do the same thing. Add the same amount every time, and it never really is too overpowering, which is nice. But
That's the blueberry one, right?
yeah,
Bitch and Betty.
yeah. So with the sour that you'll try next was all puree. So 44-pound boxes of puree, and that was a lot of testing, and we were like, who knows if this is going to be too much or not, but it turned out to be good.
This was our first ever sour. So we've done sours collabs with other breweries, but this was our first sour that we ever brewed ourselves. I mean, you've home brewed a sour before, but we were so nervous. Sours are you gotta let them sit for a couple of days to reach that pH level.
It's actually infecting the beer. For anyone out there who doesn't know, you're actually creating bacteria to infect the beer to create the sour flavor, and then you kill it all off by boiling it. But
so I was gone on my honeymoon, and it was in the fermenter, and then Shane would text me every day tasting it. I was like, dude, how is the sour doing? And he's like, it is very, very good.
Yeah.
Because the day before I left, holy shit, those whiskey's getting to me. We were boiling it out, and dude, it
smells like any of the brewers out there watching this, making a sour, the boil, it smells like you're boiling throw up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's horrible. And that was my first. So when we would do the sour collabs with these other breweries, I was there for the brew day. I was never there for the boil day. So I never experienced that smell on a commercial sized brewery. So when I was just like, oh my God, did we mess something up? Like, is this ruined?
Who did you reach out to? Like, just a couple of your friends?
Yeah,
and you're
so
like, is this normal?
After I was boiling it, I reached out to the head brewer of Eli Fish, Adam.
He's a great guy.
Dude. We're doing another collab with him. We did the
Very
Gloppy
smart.
Slush with him. We're doing Gloppy Slush 2.0 here at end of September. Anyway, so he was just telling me it's normal, if as long as you're not getting this smell, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm getting it or not.
We were like whiffing, and we're like, I think we're getting that.
I'm like, I don't know, because then once you start thinking about it, like you smell it.
100%.
So he's like, once you, which I know, and I've researched, once it ferments and the yeast goes in the yeast and all that, somehow it gets rid of that smell. So I was like, you know what, we already made it. Let's just try it out. We'll see what happens. So the yeast took it out perfectly, and I was just like, oh my God.
Are you guys sour guys? Do you like sours?
I do. Yeah, I really like sour.
I think we should rename it Buffalo Happy Sour.
There you go. Ooh, I like that.
Buffalo
What?
Happies
What
sour.
is that? Buffalo. Yeah.
Did we just break the
Did I
internet?
just break brains?
So
Yeah, of 9 people, everything's fine.
so all right, so back to this the hop blonde.
Yeah. So it's a blonde ale that you added watermelon flavor to it.
Yeah.
I really like the watermelon.
Yeah, I
kick.
think I've always wanted to do something with watermelon in the summer just because I think it's perfect flavor.
Most
for it.
refreshing flavor. Yeah.
So we were able to finally do it, like literally the end of the summer, of course. So we're real happy with it. It's a very small, limited batch that we have that we're releasing.
It probably will only be on Saturday and Sunday.
That's kind of what we're hoping, is that this will sell out Saturday. So we only just did a couple kegs of it, but I'm happy with it. I think it's good. It's a crusher. I mean,
Yeah, I'm destroying mine.
and the best part is it's 6.5%.
Nice.
So this is not like a 4% Pilsner or
this'll
something.
get you good.
It feels like it goes down like a Pilsner, like a real light beer, but it's got that, the 6.5% kick that'll make you jump off the balcony up here.
if you
That's what I'm
want to.
talking
If you
about.
want to.
So
yeah.
how many iterations of this brew did you had to do before you got to that right percent?
This was it.
Really? Okay.
It's the first time we ever did this one. So it was.
No, no.
Professionals
Nice
or
flex,
something.
dude.
No.
Literally,
If you saw how we did this, you guys would laugh. This is not.
we're specifically not telling you about
Yeah,
it.
we're not telling you because it's so stupid and easy. Like,
So what's this one then?
so this
that's
is the sour. So this is
I
called.
gotta finish.
Yeah, so we gotta finish.
Chill
this
out,
one.
bro.
I just want to taste
Just
it, man.
hang out.
It's literally
Hang out
staring
for a
at me.
little
Again,
bit.
I'm Irish. Things look at me. I know there's booze in there.
All right, so this sour has been my baby in the making because I've always wanted to make a sour. We're always waiting to do it. Like we were just waiting for the perfect time to do it. And once we decided to do this 1 year anniversary, we were like, this is the perfect time to release a sour.
Yeah.
Everyone's wanted a sour from us. We've had sours on tap this whole time, like our Sunkiss with 12 Gates or Gloppy Slush with Eli Fish. Or
So can you tell the people why you didn't do a sour from the beginning again, just in case
Yeah.
they didn't watch the first interview?
So the reason why I didn't open up with a sour is because the brewing world right now is so sour forward, and fruited sours is like they're just king right now. So when we opened up, it might have been a bad decision by me to do this. I don't know why I thought to do this, but I really wanted our customers to try our beer, the real beer. Not that a sour is not real beer, but our blonde ale, our blueberry beer, our IPAs. Like I wanted them to like that and like us first, because if I put a sour out, people would just drink that up and leave, and they would never. When we run out of it in the one day, they're not going to come back.
Sure.
The sour critics are different animals.
Yeah,
too.
they're brutal, man. The sour people out there, they are sour for real.
Slam.
We were about to. So we were. We were about to name this beer Sourpuss,
Yeah.
but our servers didn't want to say it. They didn't want to go up to a customer and say, "Oh, here's your Sourpuss."
Yeah.
So we were going to name it that, but
We're gonna put Shane on the can too.
yeah, it was going to be my face on the can.
Tom would have loved that.
Yeah. Well, he already did a can with my face on
Yeah,
it.
the
Yeah.
leprechaun one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, me too.
So this is Mango Tango.
So it's called Mango Tango. It's Cara orange and mango, and it's 5%. And you don't get a lot of that real, like, sour bite.
Tart to it?
It's more of like, envision like a mimosa. That's kind of like the vibe I get from it. I'm very happy with it. So let's give it a taste.
All right, this isn't the milk crate challenge over here.
I know. I do want to try it.
Ooh, I like that. It's thick, but it's like you said, it's more citrus forward rather
very
than like
sour, yeah.
rather than like a berry blackberry
Well,
like sour tart.
We're coming off our Sunkist, which was the strawberry lemonade sour, and the lemonade made it very, very tart.
It was super sour.
It was super, super sour. So I think this is a nice change to be like, okay, it's not as sour, but you do get that kick a little bit.
What's the difference between a sour and a goes?
It's really, so gozas are brewed with.
Who knows? Dude, I'm killing it.
Ooh, I kind of like that. It had like a wheat end to it.
Yeah.
Like that's not sour all the way through. The ending is very, very nice.
That's the thing. Like and it honestly wasn't by plan or anything.
Yes, it was.
It was. Yeah, it was.
Absolutely. Own it.
planned
Yeah,
out.
own it.
Totally planned out. No, the reason why I like this and my family really likes it, like I said, my family are they're critical about what we make. They'll tell me the truth if they like something or if they don't, or what I should fix or whatever. And they love this, and it's because a lot of the sours out there right now, not slamming anyone, but they're very sour forward. Where a lot of our customers, like our clientele, likes the regular beer, the blonde ales, the blueberries, the lighter, easy drinking beers, IPAs.
Our number one seller for being a craft brewery is our blonde ale.
Because a lot of our customer
That's
base
wild.
is like coming from Bud Lights. We're patriotic, so we get a lot of the people who don't drink craft beer.
Hardworking Americans. That's what we get.
So when we release these beers, we try to do things that our clientele will enjoy. We don't want to ever have anything that's so overpowering in one direction, like a crazy hoppy IPA or insanely sour. So the good thing about this is I think that a lot of the customers that come to the bar, and I say to them, "Oh, we got this sour," and they're like, "I don't like sours." Now this is when I can hand to them and say, "Listen, it's not that sour. You're going to get more of like the fruit forward, tropical, and then you'll get a little like tang at the end."
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect combination. You killed this.
I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you.
And I'm not saying this just to gas you up, man. This is one of my favorite sours I've ever had.
That is-
because it is so sour at the front, but then, like you're saying, with sours on the back end, you get that weird like film.
Yeah.
Because it's just so sour in your mouth and your like taste buds, and you're salivating way too much. This ends with that like weeded grain note.
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
like
just such
pillowy.
a great. It makes it kind of like a sour wheat beer.
Yeah.
At some point, and
Maybe we
to me, that's
created
just
something new.
fantastic.
Yeah.
on purpose.
Yeah.
I love this.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
really
big
I'm really
compliment. Thank
happy
you.
with it. Really proud. I'm very excited that these are the two beers we're releasing on Saturday because it is a huge day for us.
They're going to do really well.
I'm
Thank you.
hoping. But yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. It means a lot. You guys are the first people to
You
try
are.
this.
This is
Yeah.
so good. You're going to get a good
it's really
feedback
good.
on this, and you're going to have to keep brewing this, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That smell is going to be ingrained.
Yeah, so when you mentioned the smell on the boil day, is it amplified of what you smell when you smell the beer? Or is it totally different?
Dude,
Dude, it's
if
throw
you
up.
smelled the boil kettle, so you brew the beer, you make the wort, it sits in the boil kettle, then I don't want to tell our
Yeah, you do your
secret, but
your sourness
you do these
thingies.
things to create the sourness. We'll tell you
guys
off camera.
You dip my
Dude,
toes in.
Mikey jumps in it and takes a bath, scrubs his sour armpits off.
You're like, you want a bacteria.
That's the wheat note you're getting.
That's the wheat note.
yeah,
That's all that pasta you're eating. It's all coming out.
absolutely. yep.
Mikey swims
It's a
around.
Whiteman's blend.
So the smell after multiple days of it sitting, like we open the lid and there's literally like it looks like mold or like
Yeah.
milk curds on the top, and it's like, holy shit, this is like
It's
oh my god,
not okay.
Did you guys think it was bad at first? Like,
Yeah, the
that
first
wasn't
time
supposed to happen.
Because when you brew it on a small scale, you don't get that crazy. Like when I would brew it at home on a 5-gallon pot, like you smell it, but it's not like overwhelming because it's not 200 gallons. So at this point, we were like, oh my god, like I said, I've never been at that stage for a sour with a collab, which is the only time we've ever done a sour. So I was like, oh my god, this is freaking weird. So
I think you got it. I think you were here before I got here.
Yeah.
Like you called me.
I had to go. So I had to actually reach into the boil kettle to take a pH reading, and I was literally made him go up there with me. I was like,
we did it together.
I was like, if you're coming, if I'm going up there, you're coming with me. We had like towels over our nose, and anyone who's watching this that is a brewer or whatever, they're probably like, these guys are fucking idiots.
It is.
But now I know. The next time that I smell that, I'm like, oh, it's totally normal. Yeah. Totally normal that this smells like someone just threw up in a pot and we put it on fire.
Yeah.
I would have tossed the whole thing out
That's
if
the
I
thing.
smelled that.
I kept thinking that. I was like, do we dump this? But then I'm like, well, we already did it. We have an open tank. Let's just ferment it and just see what happens. And then after a couple of days, it fermented like crazy. And I took a sample. I'm like, holy shit, it's a sour. It's fine. So everything that people told me about like the smell.
I think we still get a little bit of shock that we brew beer that tastes like beer.
Yeah,
this is all still new to us.
Yeah, we didn't like a lot of
this
people.
This tastes good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
I'm not kidding you. My dad tried it like yesterday. I think it was either yesterday or the day before you were here, and I said to him, I'm like, I'm honestly surprised. Because
That's amazing.
We didn't come from like a lot of people. They have a head brewer that went to school for it. They brewed at this brewery and this brewery, and they have just so much experience. Like we didn't really have nowhere near that.
Right.
No, we didn't.
I think my nose is bleeding.
You're good.
I'm gonna suck it back up.
God. It's that whiskey, man.
Yeah.
This is not a good endorsement for the Buffalo Happy Hour whiskey.
Or a sour.
I'm gonna get the other beer. I really think my nose is bleeding, so I'm gonna walk away.
You take a break. I'll
take a break.
I'll take it. But this
cut
other
this out.
beer is it is bleeding.
Jesus.
He's hammered right now. No, so this other beer. Can you go downstairs actually real quick and get a tap handle?
Just don't faint walking downstairs because you know you're losing blood or anything.
So we're very excited for this next beer is our Orchard Park IPA. So we had a 100-year anniversary IPA we teamed up with the Chamber of Commerce, and it was the village of Orchard Park's 100 year.
Oh yeah, they selected you guys to brew it.
So we brewed their beer. We had it for the Taste of Orchard Park, and it was a big hit. So we really liked it. We're both two kids from Orchard Park. We're here in Orchard Park.
Yeah.
We also live in Orchard Park. So we figured, why don't we just we changed the recipe a little bit, added a couple more hops, and substituted some, and we created the Orchard Park IPA. So this IPA, and with this new equipment, is allowing us to be in different bars and stuff.
Oh,
so
okay.
Right now, I don't know when this is coming out, but we're on right now with Teas and Taps. We have our blonde ale there, but we're teaming up with OP Social. We're in OP Social. They're having the Orchard Park IPA. We're trying to hit Orchard Park Market and get our beer out there too, which is exciting. So that's the next beer we're going to try. Shane is going to show these awesome tap handles that actually Teas and Taps guys created for us. And
Really?
When we were there, we actually ran into Reed, and it was
Really?
it was all luck, not planned at all.
Yeah.
But he was in the booth next to us.
Really?
Yeah, and we were with the guys at Breyer Brothers.
Okay.
Shout out
awesome.
Breyer Brothers. Yeah. So we were just hanging out
Awesome.
golfing, and we got rained out on a Sunday. So we ended up going to Teas and Taps. Reed walks in, and he was having a blast with the family and everything.
Yeah.
And when we went to the bar afterwards, when we were done golfing, we saw your tap at their bar.
That's funny.
And I remember looking at you, and then I just like started smiling, and I didn't really say anything about it, but I was like, "That's amazing," because we know you guys, and I'm just like, that shows a tremendous amount of growth because that keeps up. What most people don't realize is the back end of what that means. That means you're able to keep up with the demand that that specific business has, not even your own.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Is that the case though, that you're able to keep up still, or are you still struggling?
Yeah, but I don't want to jinx anything. But no, right now I think we're in a comfortable spot.
good.
Maybe when we start to do cans, it could be a little bit different. But we're still willing to brew 7 days a week and put in that effort to get our beer out there. and promote the brand as much as possible. But I think it's different because people come in here and they like the vibe and the atmosphere and everything. But Shane, like our family comes in and they love being here. Shane and I, we love being here, but we're here literally every day, every minute and every second. So I don't know if we lost appreciation of maybe not like the shock value of seeing our beer on our own tap. So seeing a tap handle and our beer on other people's bars is kind of creating that feeling again, like this is cool. Like how you guys see your brand on whiskey, being two big whiskey guys, like seeing a tap handle, going to a bar and being like, it doesn't feel real.
No,
still
not at all.
And I don't think, I hope it never feels real because I never want to get comfortable. But it's just cool. It's a cool feeling.
Okay, I'm keeping this in my nose.
Dude, do it.
Dude,
That's
that is a
amazing.
riot.
That's amazing.
Are you good?
I'm good,
Are
dude.
we good?
It's that time of year where I get
Oh, okay. At least this is a regular thing. This isn't
Yeah,
just
this happens a lot, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You had me nervous there for a little bit.
No.
This is something that just happened.
it's like dry, I don't know, dude. This happens to me every freaking year.
So this is the Orchard Park IPA, and this is our tap handle.
Guys, for everyone watching,
Dude, that is sick.
this is tissue in my nose.
Okay, so this is
That is so cool.
it's a legitimate handle, first of all, but everything is etched into it
It is.
with, I assume, a laser. Correct?
Yeah, it was the guys from Tease and Tap, Mike Huber, I think is his name.
Sick. That's like the top of the putter, dude.
Yeah, dude, they like killed it. They're great guys over there. We were golfing there, and we were like, we own First Line.
I gotta get more tissue.
I said, we own First Line. We'd love to put a beer on tap. And he was like, yeah, we'll make something work. And we're like, he's like, we also make tap handles. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, do you want us to make you one? We're like, yeah, if you guys want to, that'd be great. So then we came out, we got maybe like 5 or 6 of these, and they did a great job. We designed this with them, and we're gonna put these in different bars. So keep your eyes out and look for this, and make sure you're ordering whatever's coming out of this tap handle.
So were you guys selective in what bars you wanted to get into? Was there like an overwhelming support that everybody wanted you, and you're like, I only want like this place, or what was that process like?
So, there's different like legal things, like obviously with distribution laws and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I just want to be careful with what I say, but
Oh, yeah. No,
basically,
you're fine.
Bars have contracts with third-party distributors that supply their alcohols to them. So if a company, say like a bar, randomly gets a keg from whoever, that company is going to be like, that supplier is going to be like, what are you doing? We have a contract that I supply your bar with the alcohol.
So then the bar can't go direct. Because essentially you walking in, it would be quote unquote direct.
To a certain extent.
Okay.
So that's the fine line that has to be carefully
Navigated.
Exactly, that's the word.
Yes.
So so it's finding that right partner who is not willing to do that, but like can do that.
Sure.
You gotta find, like, we want to stay everything Shane and I handle. Go to bars, and we want to do like bar takeovers or tap takeovers, but we have some bars in mind where for people that we know that own bars that want our beer, that just want to support us, which is great, that we grew up with, but also there's different marketing tactics that we want to utilize and reach different markets that may not be specific to the South Towns or Orchard Park, and kind of hit maybe the city or really North Towns or something, but everything's up in the air.
So when somebody comes in, just kind of speaking on location, have you guys experienced like someone coming from somewhere other than like local, and they're like, oh, I heard about you guys.
Yeah.
I want some of that.
Yeah, it was really, even when we just like first opened, we were getting people from Rochester, even down far there, that region. I think a lot of it was the brand when we first started.
Sure.
But yeah, no, we have a lot of cops from Tonawanda that come in. They're great guys. They would text us when we first were open and our hours were fluctuating, and they would text us, be like, hey, I want to drive 40 minutes, 35 minutes to you guys. Are you open? And we'd be like, yeah, we'll stay open for you guys. Come on down. But yeah, we were so small that we really couldn't market, because we were filling up our tables and having waits that were outrageous.
Yeah, what was your longest wait time?
oh my gosh, dude, when we first opened, I had my buddies that I grew up with that were waiting. The line would go out to there, maybe an hour and a half. And we're like, we can't granted, we only had a couple of tables, but we couldn't market and create and hit new markets and bring people in because we didn't have the capacity. So right now we do have the capacity, and we're trying to market to outside target demographics that we can bring them in, because now we have the ability to do that. So we do have great regulars. We still have new people coming in from really all over. It's cool to see. We had the owners of a brewery down in Ellicottville came down, and they're supporting, trying us out, and people still all over are coming over.
Yeah. So since you guys have been established for 1 year, and I want to talk about your 1 year party that you have coming up, even though this is going to air after that. But since you guys have been open for 1 year, have you noticed other industry people, like other breweries, recognize you a little bit more and kind of be more supportive that you guys are established, or has it always been pretty supportive?
That's a good question. We've stayed. Shane is literally just walking around waiting. Dude, just have it on camera.
Yeah, dude, you're good. Live your life, man.
It's fine.
It's a gusher.
It's a gusher. Says a volunteer
I don't
firefighter.
know. Yeah.
I don't know why. Can someone out there please tell me how I get a bloody nose in the middle of an interview?
Derek had a good question. I think
It's rare, but I had to go.
Yeah, no, we've stayed in contact with the few brewers that really helped us grow and get into this industry. There's a couple that now that our name is kind of getting out there that are coming out and trying our beer and shooting the shit with us, really, but nothing too crazy. We like to still go to breweries. It's a cool community, like brewers coming in, and now that we're kind of bigger, right?
Like if your respect has kind of grown since you guys have been open for a year now.
I think our confidence has grown from. I can speak on my end with our one barrel system. I think we were viewed a little bit as like still a home brewer, or we've had
that just owned a place.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've had customers at the bar when I was bartending, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, you guys were one barrels. I brew at home. Like I figured I can do it." And like I was kind of insulted by that. I'm like, dude, you can maybe do it, but it's a freaking grind. Like it's not just brewing on a one barrel. It's a lot of other sacrifices that are being made. So I think this 5-barrel for me kind of makes us more
legitimate,
professional. To a certain extent, where, to be completely honest, I don't really care if other breweries are how they look at us, because I know the product that we're producing it's good for us, and that's really all that matters for me.
Well, it has been cool to see other brewers and other breweries that may have overlooked us before now, commenting on our posts, contacting us. I know I have a tissue in my nose. You guys probably can't.
No, I'm saying I'm smiling because we're experiencing the same thing.
No, I'm just saying. I cannot believe that my nose is bleeding.
Dude, I'm all about your nose bleeding right now.
And for all the other breweries out there that I'm talking about, and you see me with my nose bleeding, I'm usually way more professional than this.
Dude, you got it. No. You got it. Stand strong.
But there's like breweries on Instagram that will message us or comment on us, and we're like, even before all this, we were just huge fans of the establishment, and it's cool to see, like, we post a beer picture, they comment saying, like, oh, that looks great, like, good job, guys. And that's just kind of a rewarding feeling, as you guys may be experiencing yourselves.
We did. So, like, even today, we got a follower today, and when I saw the notification for it, I was like, there's no way. Like, this is probably a spam fake account where someone stole the same name. I clicked on it, and I'm like, oh, no, it's the actual account. And I was just, like, thrown away.
That's
and
awesome.
then I think before that, the only other time was when the one page, which no free shout-outs, but they have, like, 89,000 followers. And I was like, okay. Like, if they're following us, and then I look, and they have 89,000 followers, but they only follow like 230. Like, that's pretty cool.
You guys,
so
cheers to you guys. You guys have been killing it ever since our interview. You guys, shout out to you guys.
Thank you.
We see how much hard work you're putting in, and it's paying off.
We're trying.
So to that point, we talked a little bit off camera about this, about how you guys literally grind here all the time and don't really get to appreciate it. And now that you are up here kind of doing a podcast and sitting here and not working, you're a little bit more able to appreciate what you've built. Can you talk us through what you guys have thought of when you first started and now relaxing and being able to take a step back, what you guys are thinking now that you built all this?
We have employees now, which
That's wild.
I think
I'm
you're
good. I'm good.
So we have, so we have. I don't want everyone to feel like we're complaining about working hard and stuff.
Sure.
But we do have a great. Did you pick that one because it's more full?
Yeah.
I love it. Well,
So we have employees now that we're here doing during the day and we're doing the stuff during the day, but then we can sit back and chill at the bar and talk to customers or walk around and not. When we first opened, we were the bartenders, so
Yeah,
we didn't have
everything.
that ability. Yeah, we didn't have the ability to just to walk around and talk to the customers and stuff. Alyssa's coming up here. What's up? But so that makes it more real. As I mean, to be like, we've hired friends or we've hired people literally like our age that if they're listening to this, we're still your bosses, but it still doesn't feel like we're their bosses because we're the same age as them. But we're very happy with the employees that we picked, and people that want to work here is very rewarding. And yeah, we just have a great staff that lets us kind of have somewhat of a normal life again.
Yeah.
Well, the cool thing when we were building, when this addition was under construction, I think the only points where I actually would be able to sit back and like take it in, it was always me and my mom. Like my mom's here all the time working, and there was a lot of times where me and her would either be sitting out front, drinking a beer and watching them build, or actually sitting up here just with like our legs hanging out the window and just like looking at everything. And it was like it was like in those moments where we were able to actually sit back and be like, holy shit, this is nuts. Or when we reopened the first floor and the second floor wasn't open, my mom would be up here staining and I'd be sitting in a lawn chair up here drinking a beer. And like in those moments you're able to actually like sit back and be like, this is really cool, like that we were able to do this. But 99% of the time we're so ingrained in working and doing everything else that we never really get like to feel the cool parts of it per se. Not never, but a lot of the time.
I think you should, but I don't think you always should. I mean, as you guys probably understand, like if you become comfortable, then you're not growing or you're not trying new things.
We just had Mike and I had a heated conversation a couple days ago where we're like, we got to do something different, which led to hopefully it turned out pretty good. But the whole thing that happened before this, like it's just you become comfortable doing the same thing, and you're like, we have to do something.
You got to constantly
because
be doing
we're
something,
eventually going to become complacent and then not put as much effort into it.
It's just insane, like what a business partnership can do. But yeah, because you guys obviously have the same borderline relationship that him and I do, where he'll ask a question, it'll plant a seed, and then all of a sudden it'll just erupt.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So,
and then you just brain dump to each other.
What? Can you just set them up over here?
sorry, we are open right now. So the first time we did this podcast, we weren't
you're
open.
good. You're good.
Set them up where the wrist plate.
But
We're gonna wrap up in like 5 minutes.
yeah, no, you're good. Just along that point, I think for you guys too, we're friends and we know each other. I don't know your background, but we had a lot of doubt from even family members that we said we wanted to start a brewery, and they're like, we've never been brewed before. They're like, you can't brew beer, you know. So I think
friends, like I had a lot of my close friends that didn't support it until it was a real thing, and then they supported it. Which obviously it's nice they support it now, but it's always kind of been like we had this weird start where people didn't believe in us besides like our immediate people.
it literally happened like how you guys probably happened. You know how you talk, just shoot the shit with your buddies, and we're like, yo, we should start a brewery. And then like years go by and like, oh, we never did it, whatever. This idea, literally, we said we should start a brewery, and we just fucking went with it.
I was literally driving to Rochester for work, texting Mikey about brewery names, like patriotic names, and we came up with this random name that is not First Line. So it was all very off the cuff when we did this, but
for those watching, I'm not an inspirational speaker, but honestly, take the risk. Like if you're willing to do something, just do it. Like not to rip off.
there's Coach McDermott.
There's Coach. He's probably asking where we are.
Look at Coach. driving his lifted,
Hanging out.
Just looks like a coach.
his lifted Shelby Ford truck.
We had Reed tell him
don't
that
out him like that.
I'm not talking about
his license
colors.
plate number is.
I'm not talking about colors, but
Definitely not wearing a green shirt right now.
yeah, but Coach McDermott is on the road in front of the brewery, just crushing it right
He
now.
might come in.
Go
He might be on the.
Bills.
We
on the
told
Bills.
Reed that we are the backup long snappers.
We are,
That
whether
is
he likes it
official.
or not, or whether the coach knows it or not. If Reed goes down, we're going in.
Yeah.
So before the singer starts shouting, because I'm sure that's
Yeah.
going to happen soon, what beer do we have in front of us
Okay,
now?
so this is our. So
I
originally.
talked about the Orchard Park IPA and how we're going to be on tap. So.
Oh, okay. So you're explaining this. So this is.
Yeah, you were bleeding.
This is. Dude, I really cannot believe that. I'm surprised it didn't happen on the news. That would have been great. I kind
Right,
of wish it would have
yeah.
happened there. Anyway, so this is our staple IPA, and the cool thing about this beer is that it takes shape of a classical.
I kind of just want to scream
West-
to Coach right now. I got to be professional.
There he is. There he goes.
There's my
It's crazy because he's shorter than his truck. But anyways, we'll go on.
All respect. Please bring us a Super Bowl.
I know.
For the love of God,
Literally
please.
do whatever you want to do.
All right, go ahead. Explain the beer.
the cool thing about this beer, which I think is very unique, is that when you look at it, you think this is going to be a West Coast style because it's clear, it's got the darker darker color to it. But surprisingly enough, it's actually a New England style IPA that was conditioned out, so you're able to get that very tropical hop note with also the lighter mouthfeel of a West Coast. And it's just a weird, cool combo, and we're really happy about this, and we're happy to put this in
cheers
Orchard
it.
Park. So
To the East Coast,
cheers,
baby.
boys. East Coast, West
absolutely.
Coast.
Thank you,
Bloody
boys.
Nose
Thank
is
you.
on the live television.
You made us look like unprofessional, but it's fine.
This is super good.
Yeah, it's light.
So you get
Yeah, it is.
the
Yeah. That
mouthfeel.
pineapple or something, right?
Yeah, you get that mouthfeel of a lighter West Coast style IPA, but you get the hop aroma, and the flavor is New England style, which is cool because a lot of New Englands are very hazy, thicker, and this is more of like a lighter New England IPA, which is cool. I don't really know what to call this. I think it's a New England IPA, but it's definitely not hazy.
It's an Orchard Park IPA.
It's an Orchard Park
you go.
IPA.
I love it.
Obviously.
There it is.
There it is. But yeah, no, thank you guys for having us again. Whenever you want to have another podcast,
We
we're
love
ready.
it. We gotta think about that.
For all the fans out there, we explained we want to do a monthly podcast of just
we
us
want to do
shooting
a
the
joint
shit.
podcast with
Buffalo
our
Happy
graphic
Hour
designer
and Tom, Idiot Tomboy.
Well, realistically, round 3
Tommy
would
boy.
make sense with the new patio.
Yeah.
But again, we're obviously going to be in between rounds 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Just because your food menu is also on point as well as your beer.
Yeah, so we do want to. We're gonna start. Now we have the ability to do like collabs with other businesses and stuff. So we actually are gonna do some pop-up shops.
Yeah.
Hatchets and Hops is going to be here with their
sweet.
mobile axe throwing
Yeah.
trailer.
So we're very excited to see that this new equipment has opened up a lot of doors for us.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, stay up to date with us on social media, and you can find out what's going on.
What's social media?
So we
Michael
got,
Meyer on at Michael Meyer.
so we got First Night Brewing on Facebook and Instagram. We don't use Twitter, so don't even bother that.
Yeah.
But TikTok has been going ham
Dude, we
for
have a
us.
TikTok.
We have a TikTok
so do
video
we.
that has 10,000 views.
Damn.
Dude, it's of Shane
I don't-
sitting on
I don't-
18 bar stools.
There's a video of me. I don't know why we did this. I just thought it was funny. Mikey was in the bathroom, and I stacked all the bar stools up at the bar, and I was sitting on like 15 bar stools, and I was like, dude, take a video. So we made a TikTok out of it, and like a couple days later, I checked, we got 10,000 views. So our TikTok,
with our 52 followers is popping.
but the content is funny, and we're gonna keep bringing funny content. That's like, he said to me yesterday, and I think it's a good point to like who we are. He's like, could you imagine if you go back and watch our games, which you saw, the games TikTok, he's like, could you imagine 2 business owners anywhere else making a dumb
We had to
video
take
like this?
advantage of how old we are, because at 40 years old, making that TikTok
Yeah, we would
is
seem
Right.
stupid.
not
you
going to
know,
go well. But I think it goes
That was
to
hilarious.
I think it goes to show, it was literally the same. Like we got interviewed by a news station, so we were very professional. We were on the news. We were live. We had to be more professional or mature than we are. But then literally like 3 hours later, we posted that TikTok of me panting and playing games with kegs.
And I was a keg for a minute. Yeah, no, we like to have fun, and I think that's where our loyal customer base, why they are drawn to us, is because since day one, Mikey and I are, laughing, having fun. Our family and our workers are the same way. Like, some of the stuff that goes down here probably shouldn't, but we don't care because everyone has fun. So
Well, it's not a free for all, but
it's not free for all, but it's definitely like
you learn that life's short. And
life's
have
short, and you know,
fun.
have fun, laugh, do crazy shit. Don't break the law, obviously, but
Breaking the
Well, you
law.
guys are doing it for the right reason too. I mean, you're in it to make money. Everybody is when you start a business, but you're doing it because you enjoy brewing beer and enjoy establishing the culture that is First Line Brewing, which I think resonates with what you guys, like your personality is, with your TikTok, with your Instagram and everything like that. It's just everything together. It's just, this is what First Line Brewing
It is.
Yeah.
You love us or you hate us.
that's the thing.
They'll love us.
It's one or the other, really. People
Yeah.
either like us or they hate us for no
We
reason.
got-
So
that's a
you
good-
guys have seen
understand
it.
that.
That's, yeah, I was about to say that's a good point. We were when we first started, not hyped or focused on like the negativity, but you just gotta realize you gotta let go of
Yeah.
that, and that was something big for us. Just be like, we know what we have here. Who really cares what the negatives or critics are
Well, I
saying?
mean, yeah, like there would be times where I'll spend all this time on a beer and 99 people say they love it, and then there's that one review that's like horrible and just like rude, and I have to like tell myself like, don't listen to that dude. He's in his mom's basement.
Right.
He's got no job. He's miserable. He just wants to ruin your day. Or the people on Facebook or social media that
I know, people
just
be
criticize
nice.
Mike.
You know, why be
it's like we're
jerks?
two young kids giving back to the community, working our butts off, and these people will just come at our necks for no reason.
Well,
Because
you
you're
said that-
tatted.
Yeah.
Because I'm tatted.
Well, you
Show
guys
off the-
said that on the
Oh, yeah.
news
I
too
got-
about
I
how
got
much
a
you
tattoo.
have donated.
Yeah, so we've donated around 15,000 or so.
I don't know how you can
15
hate this
Gs.
business.
That's what I'm saying, because from day one, these people doubted that we were actually going to give back before we open, and then we proved that we give back, and we've given large donations to people that we've never put on social media because we didn't feel like we wanted to keep it on the low.
We've donated.
You don't do it for the attention.
No,
I can tell you guys, we did for Memorial Day. There was 3 families in Rochester. Their husbands died in a helicopter crash, and us and Reed Ferguson teamed up, and we donated a good amount of money to each family. And we didn't post
we
about
talked
that on
about it.
social
We
media.
said, should we
I
post
said
it?
no.
We didn't want to be a publicity
We didn't want to put it on
stunt,
social media because it's that we did it for what we're about. We did it. So these people who will hate on us, it's like we're giving back to people. I don't know how you can.
Yeah, they don't matter.
I don't know
All we'll focus on is more Orchard Park IBAs.
Exactly.
And we'll just keep crushing.
Yeah.
It's just,
Exactly.
it's those are the people that I'm sure you guys and every business has those morons that just want to chirp you and be trolls. So that's definitely my biggest thing, is just biting my tongue. And now I'm way better now than I used to.
You used to be.
I used to go off
really
on people
hothead. Yeah.
because it's just so rude, and
It's
we're
just
just not like
ridiculous,
that.
yeah.
Everybody who comes in here and knows us, I mean, they like this place. They like us.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but
Yeah.
we're not mean people. We're not rude.
Just to
So-
each
Here to have a
other.
good time. Yeah,
we just get bloody noses
Exactly.
sometimes. We get bloody noses sometimes, and sometimes our eye waters when we take a sip.
That's it. Roast them.
Well, gentlemen, thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys
Thank
are doing
you.
great.
Thanks, boys.
Keep focusing on the positivity. We love what you're doing here. Your beers are amazing,
you.
especially that sour. And we'll be back for round 3 for sure. And this monthly podcast we're going to start doing sometime.
Dude,
we need to do
honest to
it.
God, please, can we set this up?
All right, dude, you don't got to yell about it.
You guys have a studio now.
We do.
It
You want to
gets-
come there?
It gets like 110 degrees in there.
That's
though.
fine.
Fine, we're used to it. I'm going to be standing on a boil kettle.
That's fine.
Don't act like
we
it's
could-
always 110.
We could do it up here. We'll talk about random shit.
I
and it'll be
know.
a great time. We'll just laugh.
What was the name that you called it? Sleepy Slumber Party?
Slumber party. All of us just drink so much that we have to sleep here.
We got to
That's
get.
it.
We got to create that Instagram now. So
Yes,
somebody else is
I know.
doing
we are
it.
If
pros
you guys
at
are
that.
serious about this, I'm serious about this.
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk off camera.
All right.
Yes.
All right, everybody.
Boys,
thank you so much
thank
for
you,
round
everybody.
2.
Appreciate it.
Gentlemen,
Boys and
thank
girls,
you.
I love you all. I'll see you in the tap room soon.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
See you Saturday.